Hey people, I'm going to talk a little bit about the patience that's needed to make through big life changes. By the way, this is my first live YouTube video. There seems to be a little bit of an angle difference and all that. Still in Central Texas, still working on my boat. You know, usually when people come to me or other shamans, usually it's because life's not working out very well and they need some help. And that's, a lot of times they want to make these big life changes. Something happened and they're like, well, all of a sudden I woke up, or, I've been doing all the right things and I still don't like my life. I'm really, really successful by every standard, but why am I not happy? And I really need to do something big in my life. I make big changes. Okay. Everyone's life is a story, you know. And one of my favorite expressions, people say, well, I did this and it felt like I was in the wrong movie. So let's just use movies as an example. Let's say you're the writer, director, producer of this movie. And this movie that you've been in for a while, you've been working on, is kind of a drama tragedy. Things just aren't going well, you're not happy, you're just doing all this stuff. I mean, you can almost picture the scene, in the movie. And you want to change it. So one day, over the weekend, you completely write the whole thing, all right? So now it's action comedy. And you're going to do this action comedy. And you go back to the people, your stage crew, everybody on your set. And you're like, hey, I totally changed everything. We're going to do an action comedy. And people are like, oh, that's cool. That sounds fun. But we need to change a few things. I mean, for one, we have to change this set. We have to change some actors. We have to change some costumes. We have to change a lot of things to go from drama tragedy to action comedy. So you have to be a little bit patient here, boss. And you're like, okay, yeah, we'll do whatever you need to do. I'm willing to do it. I'm there with you guys. And then a week later, it's like, hey, nothing's happening. I also experienced this in construction. If people want to renovate their house, it's like, oh, well, we found some things that take a little longer than planned. We need to change a few other things that we didn't think of before. And the owner or he's like, okay, yeah, do what you got to do. And then a month into it, now they want to rewrite the whole thing again. And they hold on. All right. Well, this is what happens when you want to make a big life change. You've been living this one lifestyle for a long time, and now all of a sudden you want to change it. Well, that's good. You'd probably be happier, probably be healthier, So, but then after that, you have to be able to support the changes. You also have to, let's say it's that movie again, and one part of it's this gloomy, dark city. And you're like, okay, well, we can't really make this action comedy here. We need to go someplace like, Bahamas, South Florida, someplace nice and happy and sunny. And you're like, well, I don't want to do that. Well, sorry, but, this place is depressing. We're not going to do an action comedy here. How many action comedies have you ever seen that were shot in really bad areas, just depressing areas? None. Okay? So, so you're waiting for this change to happen. But if you keep rewriting the script, more changes have to happen. Well, finally, your travel schedule's all messed up. A lot of your support group or your crew, they just left because you don't know what the hell you want. And this happens like in the movies, the industrial, the construction. Finally, people are like, oh, this person doesn't know what they want. I'm going over here, Well, that's the energy around your life. Finally, it just gets so chaotic. You're not letting the water settle so you can see what's in there. You stirred it up so much. And and then, for some strange phenomenon, people will go back to the exact same thing that they were doing. And maybe because it's just familiar. Well, I didn't like my life before, but at least I knew what was going to happen. Yeah, and it's going to suck, just like it has for the last 30 years. So you have to have that consistency and the discipline, to go through it because it's worth it. Is there a guarantee that it's going to turn out exactly as you plan? Oh no. It's even though it's possible that it could turn out even better than you planned. And that's one of the really nice things about it. Because nature itself, I think, really wants things to be happy, productive, proactive, prolific, all the pro stuff, right? And by participating in that flow, you can create that for yourself, but you're all going to attract other people to that same lifestyle. You are going to help influence other people in a really positive way, and you just got to stick with it, and yeah, the other lifestyle, as much as it sucked, was not fun, but it is familiar. But the lifestyle you want to create will be familiar in the future and not too far away. So anyway, that's about it on that. Because, oh, there's another interesting phenomenon. People in the shamanic or in the alleged shamanic communities and the New Age communities, they're like, hey, your videos are really good, man. You give away some really good stuff, and it's nice that you give away, blah, blah, blah. But the giveaway thing keeps coming up. And I was thinking about this. I'm like, well, I'm listening. Maybe I'm putting too much into what they're saying. And it's like, no, I've heard this too much before. Because in their world, in their level, the things that I talk about on the video, that's like their top dollar stuff in a lot of these New Age arenas and stuff like that. And it is big stuff for the everyday person who wants to make big life changes, and I get that, I've made lots of big life change. I'm in the middle of another one right now as I'm building this boat, but it's big for you guys when you are where you are. One of the things that apprentices will tell me is like, wow, it's just amazing where I was and where I am now, and you can do the same thing. So these other people, the alleged instructors and all that, are kind of pissed that I give away, the stuff that I do. But realistically, in the shamanic arena, and at least in the upper levels, this is not the big stuff. I want to give away these videos. I don't make any money on my YouTube channel, okay? But it's part of the consistency and discipline that I'm just talking about making big life changes. This is how I make big global changes. See, I want to just give this stuff out and help people, these things are for free, so they can use this, change their life in a really positive way, and then other people will see that. Because I'm going to tell you something, my YouTube audience, okay? Many times, you, the everyday person who did not grow up in shamanism, you can give the people, the masses, a lot more hope than I can. Because they'll look at me and they go, well, you've been doing this, so long, you've been doing this, since you was a kid and all this other stuff. Yeah, but they look at you as one of them. So when you make this huge life change and they see you do it and they ask you for advice, that's when you can give them a lot more help, hope, and encouragement than I can, and so that's why I do this, and over the years, I've watched so many people make these big life changes and have such positive effects on the people around them, and I'm really happy I can do that. And I've trained shamans, who have trained other shamans after apprenticeships. That's how long I've been doing this. I've been doing this since my hair was like almost black, So for the people who are kind of like pissed I'm giving away the good stuff, y'all need to go out and give some real stuff. How about that? Okay. Sorry I haven't done anything in 2 months on YouTube. I've been exploring all the other channels, other social media platforms. I really want to get more work out there, and people have asked me, what is your real work? If you're giving away this stuff, what's your work? My real work is the group projects, geomantic projects. I help people build communities, meditation centers, intentional communities, organic farms. The stuff that I really find interesting is the one-on-one work with people and the private appointments. And when I do that, the appointments are 2 hours minimum. because people don't open up for about an hour. You know, even people I've seen for a while. You know, so that's my real work, and I hope with all these COVID, Corona, whatever things, restrictions, that'll pick up soon. I usually spend about 6 months a year out of the United States. I do hope that I can start things in the United States again. I haven't done that in a while. You know, well, we're all going through changes, right? Globally, you know. So anyways, if you guys have ideas of what I can do for other videos, you know, write me something in the comment. If you like these videos, subscribe, hit the like button. Not that it's going to make me any more money or anything, but it gets me up on the search engine list and so on. Share the video if you think it might help someone, okay? All right, YouTubers, I'll catch you all later.